Now with the upcoming release of Part 4 Jason, I thought it'd be a great time to talk about whether I think that he'll be a great addition to the game or a bad addition. But in order to determine that, we're going to need to take a look at his abilities. These abilities were already in the game. The first one allows him to run. The second one is Weapon Strength, which allows Jason to cause more damage to counselors if they get hit by him. And the third ability is Destruction, which allows Jason to break down doors with fewer hits. I think all these abilities are really good for this Part 4 Jason to have, except for the Weapon Strength, and I'll tell you why in a bit. Now, I really like the running ability. We only have 2 Jasons as of right now in the game that can run, which is the Part 2 and Part 3 Jason. I find these Jasons the most difficult to avoid because of the running ability. They're not as slow as the other Jasons. Now let's talk about the Destruction. I find this ability extremely useful because when you're playing as Jason, you're going to be needing to enter a lot of cabins to get the counselors. It only takes about 2 to 3 hits to break down a door when you have the Destruction ability, compared to the 5 or 6 hits it takes to break down a door when you don't have the ability. Now as for the Weapon Strength ability, I'm not the biggest fan of that perk. Most of the people who I see play as Jason usually just grab the counselor instead of hitting them with their weapon. So in the end, I'm not really a big fan of that ability. But maybe that's just me. What do you guys think about it? So now that we went through his strengths, let's go through his weaknesses. So the first one is Water Speed, the second one is Shift, and the third one is Traps. So Water Speed allows him to move even faster in the water. This, at least for me, doesn't come too much into play during the matches, so I'm not too upset about it. The next weakness is the Shift ability, and this might be a deal breaker for you. The Shift ability is one of Jason's most important abilities. It lets you catch counselors quicker. It's like a teleport. So now that Shift is one of his weaknesses, it's going to take a lot longer for the Shift ability to regenerate. The only other Jason that has a Shift weakness is the Part 7 Jason, and I don't use him that much because of that weakness. And he also can't run, so it's like impossible to catch counselors with that Jason. I just can't play as him. But that's just me. Maybe I just suck as playing Part 7. Now the last weakness is Traps. Traps are very useful when you're playing as Jason. It's nice to have a little bit of support when you're playing as him, like putting down a trap near the phone box or near the car. They are nice, but they're not a deal breaker. At least not a deal breaker for me. Now when the traps are Jason's weakness, you get less traps. But you still get a decent amount, so I'm fine with that. So now that we went through Part 4 Jason's strengths and weaknesses, it's time to decide. Now I know opinions will vary from person to person, but do I think this Jason will suck? My answer is no. Why? Because you get the running ability and you get the destruction ability. Those two are a great combination. And for me at least, the strengths outweigh the weaknesses. But that's just my take on it. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.
What I wanna say is I feel stuck. I do like a girl with a big butt. I either don't drink or get too drunk and pass out on my best friend's futon. I need to move on from this basic shit. I wake up, eat, and go and take a piss. You do something funny.